Hi guys! Isa ba kayo sa mga nagpanic when you receive the news or advisory na nirelease ng Department of Migrant Workers regarding the OEC or Overseas Employment Certificate na kailangan ng i-comply or i-secure ng mga babalik ditong OWPs or PGWP holders. Yan kasama ng kanilang mga asawa. Well, I know that you have a lot of questions, lalo na sa mga requirements, processing timeline, and even the cost of that OEC. So if you are interested in this topic, please keep on watching. So ito na guys, yung update natin regarding OEC or Overseas Employment Certificate na kailangan i-obtain or i-secure ng mga uuwing OWPs and PGWP holders para makabalik sila dito sa Canada. Ayan. So bagong requirement to kasi before ang nire-require ng mga OEC or Overseas Employment Certificate ay yung mga direct hire or yung mga may lamia. Yan. Pero ngayon, in-apply na rin to sa mga OWPs and PGWP holders. So, saan ba nakasaad yung update na to? So, you can check yung Advisory 09 Series of 2024 sa Department of Migrant Workers website. And I can also put the link in the description box below para may reference din kayo sa aking ipapakita. So, Advisory 09 Series of 2024 talks about the documentation of Filipinos as OFWs under the Canada's immigration programs or systems. So before anything else, what is OEC muna? Kasi we've been referring that since our introduction. So OEC is an Overseas Employment Certificate, and this is also known as an exit pass or an exit clearance. This is an identity document for Filipino migrant workers or overseas Filipino workers, OFWs, departing from the Philippines. So kung uuwi kami, kunwari, from Canada to Philippines, hindi naman talaga required tong OEC pa muna. Okay? Ang OEC ay kailangan yan sa Philippines pag papunta ka na dito sa Canada. So this is not a requirement from the government of Canada. Ito ay requirement from the Philippine government. Kaya sila yung maghahanap sa atin ng OEC. And if you will be asking yung mga Canada immigration consultants, lalo na kung wala silang ties sa Philippines and they are foreigners, kunwari Indians or Jamaicans, maybe they won't have enough knowledge on the OEC kasi it's very specific talaga sa Philippines. Okay? So, i-check na natin yung advisory. So, as you can see, this is the advisory number 09 series of 2024 that we are talking about. So, it's just a 3-page document, pero technically 2 pages lang yan. And it's very easy to read, although very difficult to interpret. Kasi alam ko rin na alam nyo na hindi lahat talaga ay nasasagot dito sa document na to. Maraming katanungan and maraming nagpanic when they have read this advisory. First part, yan, dinefine muna nila yung overseas Filipino workers. Okay? It's synonymous to a migrant worker. And then, dito na makikita yung changes and dito na na-add yung PGWP and open work permit holders. So, under number 2, okay, it says that Filipinos bound for Canada under the following programs are considered OFWs and shall undergo contract verification and documentary processing by the DMW or the Department of Migrant Workers. Okay? So, first is letter A, hired through Atlantic Immigration Pilot covered by POEA Advisory number 169. I think for international students naman, no, hindi ko na itatouch masyado to, pero this one is covered under an AIP. So since my topic will be covering yung mga study permit holders, OWPs, and PGWP holders, we'll jump sa 2B. Okay, so holders of Canada's open work permit under the International Mobility Program covered by POEA Advisory Number 159 Series of 2020. So Filipinos who are holders of an open work permit with exemption from Labor Market Impact Assessment or LAMIA are required, okay, to undergo contract verification and documentary processing as OFWs by the department upon their initial entry in Canada and until such time their application for permanent residency has been approved by the relevant authority of the said country as follows. Okay, so dito na sinasabi na okay, yung mga may open work permit, okay, you will be covered under this advisory. Pero inisa-isa pa nila yan ha. Hindi pa ito very general na lahat ng OWPs kailangan mag-submit kayo ng OEC. So let's go to B1 muna. Ito yung may mga bridging open work permit. Okay, so under which the work of certain foreign nationals who are already working in Canada and are able to maintain their employment and settle while transitioning to permanent residence. So these are the people na naka-open work permit sila pero they are already on the process na for their permanent residency sa Canada. So they will be required to present an OEC or secure an OEC prior to leaving Philippines going to Canada. And then ito na yung very important section. 2B2, okay? Postgraduate Work Permit Program or PGWP, which allows students who have graduated from eligible Canadian designated learning institutions to obtain an open work permit to gain Canadian work experience. So Filipinos under this work permit program are required to undergo, okay, the DMW document processing if they are in possession of a valid employment contract offer while they are waiting for a decision on their PGWP application. Okay, so later on, ipapakita ko sa slide yung naging clarification ko on that. Kasi when you read this, di ba, magkakaroon na kayo ng questions. So, sabi, PGWP holder lang ang kino-cover nito. So, papaano ba yung asawa ng PGWP holder? Exempted ba sila sa pag-secure ng OEC? And then another question, papaano naman yung asawa ng PGWP holder kung wala namang work? Anong ipe-present nila? And then another question, yung PGWP holder, sabi nire-require dito for OEC. Paano kung walang work? Although ito may na tayo, somehow answer for that question kasi sabi, if they are in possession of a valid employment contract. So, kung ako later on kasi mag-apply na ako for PGWP and then I still have no employment here in Canada, then I won't be required to secure an OEC para makalabas ng Philippines papunta ulit dito sa Canada. Okay? So later on, mas ipapakita natin yung difference na yan. Okay? And then ito naman, another program to which I won't touch na kasi hindi na to international student program dito sa Canada. It's more on the home childcare provider pilot program and home support worker pilot program. So they are required to secure OEC. And the next one, open work permit for vulnerable workers. So this is a special category and they have been also required to produce an OEC prior to leaving Philippines. Yan. And then finally, religious work. So holders of employer-specific work permits and are engaged in remunerated activities that are not religious in nature, such as clerical, accounting, administrative, etc. As evidenced by an employment contract, they are required to undergo DMW's documentary processing. So this is not also connected sa IS program, but yeah, so ito yung kino-cover ng Section 2 ng advisory. So now, let's go to item number 3. So who are exempted? Yung mga hindi na kailangan mag-secure ng OEC. So Filipinos bound for Canada under the following categories are not deemed OFWs and need not pass documentary processing through the DMW. So Filipinos in these categories are not covered by the definition provided under RA 11641, as OFWs may be covered by the Bureau of Immigration's guidelines on departure formalities. Okay, so hindi nga kayo i-require ng OEC, pero you will just comply on the guidelines ng Bureau of Immigration on departure formalities for international bound passengers. So, yung mga, for example, letter of support, yung mga letter of invitation, or whatever additional documents na magsusupport sa inyong travel papuntang Canada. So, ito yung mga hindi na kailangan mag-OEC: spouses or common law partners of principal foreign nationals who are or will be employed in high-skilled occupations, spouses or common law partners of principal foreign nationals who hold valid study permits and are enrolled full-time in post-graduation work permit eligible studies. And finally, permanent residence applicants in the spouse or common law partner in Canada class. Okay, so ito lang yung exempted under this requirement. Now, let's go to the very first category, student permit holders. So, based on my understanding sa advisory, and syempre, nag-clarify din tayo sa Vancouver Migrant Workers Office para hindi tayo makamislead, okay? Student permit holders are not required to secure an OEC in order to leave the Philippines going to Canada. So, ito yung email reply sa akin ng Vancouver Migrant Workers Office 2 days ago or Saturday. So, sabi nila, Emma, student permit holders are not required to present OEC. Pero nag-follow up email pa rin ako sa office na to in order to clarify kung lahat ba ng student permit holders ay exempted, whether or not may work siya. Yan, from securing an OEC. Kasi nga merong confusing sentence sa advisory saying that temporary residents ng Canada na merong remunatory activity or work ay considered as OFWs. So, yan, very talaga fast mag-reply yung Vancouver office, and it said that as long as they are still under a study permit, study visa, and are still studying, okay, they are not required to get an OEC. So I hope it clarifies na yung questions natin na kapag student permit holder whether or not you have a work, ay hindi ka na kailangan mag-secure ng OEC. So thank you sa Vancouver Migrant Workers Office sa pag-clarify regarding this aspect. So let's go naman sa OWP or yung spouse or common law partner ng student permit holder. Okay? Kailangan ba ng OEC? Of course, ito, if without work, yan, and you are an open work permit holder, you are not required to comply with or secure with the OEC. Pero if you have a work, ito na yung bagong requirement, which is maraming napakamot ng ulo dahil dagdag ito sa kanilang isipin if, for example, very short vacation na nga lang and kailangan pa mag-secure ng OEC, no? Yan, kailangan nyo talaga kumuha kasi you are a temporary resident in Canada and you have a work. So, nagfo-fall kayo sa requirement for that advisory. How about naman post-graduation work permit holder? Yan, sa mga uuwi na naka-PGWP. So, without work, again, kung wala namang work, you are not required to comply or secure an OEC. But if you have a work, yan, sorry guys, but you are also required to secure an OEC. Okay? So, additional requirement to. Dati talaga ay wala nang hinihingi para sa mga PGWP holders na may work. Yan, pabalik ng Canada. So, paano naman yung mga asawa ng postgrad work permit holders? Kasi hindi ito nabanggit sa advisory. Are they exempted? Okay? Spouse of PGWP holders, katulad lang din ng PGWP holder mismo, okay, if without work, then you are not bound to secure an OEC. But if you have a work, then you are needed to comply with the OEC requirement. Okay? So, para din, hindi ako ma-misquote, yan, ito ipapakita ko sa inyo yung mismong email reply sa akin ng Vancouver Migrant Workers Office. Okay? Ayoko rin talaga talaga mag-mislead, lalo na ito sobrang daming questions about this topic. Kaya before I decided to vlog about it, nagtanong muna ako mismo sa in charge on this topics yan sa Vancouver Migrant Workers Office. Actually, I attempted then to email yung sa Philippine side, Department of Migrant Workers Office, pero walang reply. But yan, saludo ako kay Vancouver Migrant Workers Office. Ito 2 days ago, Sabado to nag-reply. So even sa Saturday dito sa Canada, nagre-reply sila. And I appreciate it. So dito nyo makikita yung pinakita ko kanina student permit holders are not required to present OEC. And then sabi dito, OWP holders with active employment will need an OEC. Okay, very clear on that one. So PGWP with no work does not need an OEC. Yan, as you were able to see in our table yan earlier. But the spouse of PGWP with OWP, yung partner niya, yan, with active employment will need an OEC. Basically, ang nasusunod talaga yung last sentence na sinabi ko sa inyo, no? As long as you are a temporary resident dito sa Canada and you have a remunerated activity or active employment, then you have to secure an OEC. So tinanong ko na rin, kasi since I am here in Alberta, so saan ko ba gagawin tong contract verification requirement? So contract verification is done by the MWO Vancouver, which is ito yung ini-email ko. So the OEC will be issued naman daw sa Philippines. Yan yung mga Department of Migrant Workers offices sa Philippines. Kung saan kayo malapit, dun nyo kukunin yon. So sabi ko naman, papaano if I will be having just a 4-day vacation, kasi may nagpapatanong ito yung tinanong ko din kasi 4 days lang naman, paano masisecure kung matatagalan, di ba, yung processing ng OEC? So sabi niya, we advise that you submit necessary documents as soon as possible. We attach the checklist in this email. So hindi niya na sinabi kung mamimit ba yung target deadline for processing kasi 4 days lang yon. Pero siguro kung sasabihin nyo naman na very limited time lang yung pag-uwi nyo sa Philippines, pwede nilang madaliin. Kaya yan, sabi nila, submit the necessary documents as soon as possible. And yan, sabi nga pala sa email, we attach the checklist in this email. So, papakita ko sa inyo yung requirements para makasecure ng OEC in their very first email. Sabado ito. And yun nga pala, no, just an update. Kasi I had a follow-up question on this one. So, nag-send na naman ako ng another email today. So, today is Monday. And nag-reply naman din sila agad. And guess what? Updated na yung checklist. So, may panibagong checklist na. And mas maganda ito, guys. So, you won't need to worry. Kasi yung very first checklist, dito nag-cause ng maraming confusion. And paano daw ito masisecure, paano mako-comply, ang dami-dami. So, I will show to you yung difference ng old checklist and the updated checklist. So, ito na yung old requirements. So, medyo marami. So, siyam yan. So, valid Philippine passport, valid re-entry visa, valid work permit. So 1, 2, 3, very easy to comply lang yan kasi we have readily available documents about it. And then number 4, employment contract and addendum. So ito na yung tinatanong kasi some people walang ganito na lalo na signed by the employer on all pages. Hindi naman ganun yung employment contract usually na nasa atin, di ba? And then ito number 5, valid ID and of employers. Marami din akong nakikitang nag-worry dito. Lalo na kasi may issue ng confidentiality or privacy. Ba't ako ipapakita yung pirma ko dyan? 'Di ba? Hindi naman ako dati nagpo-provide dyan. Lalo na kasi they won't understand this side. Kasi yung Philippine government ang nagre-require nun. Hindi naman yung Canada government. So maraming hesitant ibigay ito sa mga nagre-request ngayon na mga papauwi para lang makakomply for OEC. So that's the question, kaya sila naguguluhan. And then ito, yung meron tayo, syempre, proof of employment, whether COE, Certificate of Employment, or pay stub for the last 3 pay period. Yan. So, kung nag-work naman talaga tayo, we have this document. And then, ito yung tinanong ko nga earlier, letter of guarantee from the employer. So, usually, alam ko yung letter of guarantee, available talaga to sa mga direct hired or yung may mga LAMIA, but not for OWPs or PGWP holders. That's why yan, I need to make a follow-up question. And then this one, workers' sworn statement, is to be executed in the Philippines through POEA. And finally, the online appointment. Since sabi nga earlier, the document processing or verification can be done online dito sa office sa Canada, but the securing of the OEC document itself, yan, you can get it na sa Philippines. And ito na nga, no, please see updated checklist. Kasi as you can remember, yung email or checklist na pinakita ko sa inyo, yun yung Saturday na provide sa akin. But now na Monday, no, meron silang updated checklist. Siguro nga, since kaka-release ng lang advisory, ngayon lang sila nag-a-adjust ng mga checklist, yan, para din sa mga ma-address nila yung mga questions na tino-throw sa kanila ngayon ng mga OWPs, PGWP holders. Yan. So, kindly take note. Ito na lang guys, very easy to comply. And sasabihin ko sa inyo na meron na akong friend na naka-process ng OEC using this updated requirement. So, ito lang yung sinend niya. So, valid Philippine passport. Of course, we have this one. Valid re-entry visa. You should have for sure. And then valid work permit. Yan, syempre para sa mga OWPs. And then, kung PGWP holder kayo, syempre, you should show that one. And then, ito, employment contract or job offer. And then, proof of employment, pay stub for the last 3 pay periods. So, guys, ito ha, nawala na dito yung letter of guarantee. Ipapakita ko. Nawala na dito yung letter of guarantee from the employer. Nawala na yung worker's sworn statement. Nawala na yung valid ID of the employers. Nawala na din yung addendum. So, ito na lang guys, yung updated requirements. And hindi ako yung gumawa nito guys ha. Ito yung sinend sa akin ni Vancouver Migrant Workers Office. So, very thankful talaga ako na provide nila sa akin tong details na to in a very quick manner. Kaya share ko sa inyo ito. Yan, kasi sabi ko, buti na lang hindi ako nag-vlog kahapon or do a recorded one. Kasi nasagot nila yung follow-up questions ko ngayon na Monday. So, very konti na lang guys. So, email nyo lang si Vancouver kung nasa side kayo ng west ng Canada or si Toronto kung nasa side kayo ng east ng Canada. So, ito guys, as I've mentioned, I have a friend na papauwi na ng Pinas and syempre nagpanic din kasi hindi naman kailangan talaga ng OEC before, but because of that advisory, kailangan daw nila ng OEC. So, provide lang nila itong listed na pinakita ko sa inyo. So, ito na ang reply agad ni Vancouver Migrant Workers Office. So, we have received your email with attachments for the contract verification of, yan, the name of my friend. So, to continue the verification process, we will need you to pay either through cash, postal money order, or bank draft the amount of, yan, $11.5 lang naman. So you can mail or drop off the payment at that place. So if this is Vancouver place, and then once you have your verified contract, yan kasi after payment mo, bibigyan ka ng verified contract, you will need to present it to the Department of Migrant Workers for OEC issuance. So may issuance pa rin talaga na mangyayari sa Pinas. So verification lang talaga ng documents yung gagawin either in Vancouver or Toronto. But guys, just be aware, and for your information, ay nagko-communicate ako sa Vancouver Migrant Workers Office. So I'm not sure if updated na rin si Toronto Migrant Workers Office and ibibigay niya na rin tong updated list of requirements, but I'm hoping and praying na same page na sila, no? Hindi na nagpo-provide ng old requirement yung isa yung updated one na, para hindi na maguluhan ng ating mga kababayan na uuwi ng Pilipinas. So ito na guys, yung follow-up questions na sinend ko today. Kaya nabigyan rin tayo ng updated checklist. So tinanong ko, gaano ba katagal yung processing ng OEC? Saan ba ito i-issue? Magkano ba ang babayaran lahat-lahat? Okay? So sabi, the contract verification usually takes 5 working days to process. So this is not a guaranteed one, but they said that usually. So that's the average timeline. But kung nagmamadali naman kayo, yun nga, pauwi na kayo and then very short vacation lang sa Philippines, they advise you to submit na the documents as soon as possible. Okay? And then now, I ask about the issuance. Saan ba makukuha tong OEC? Even if nagko-communicate tayo dito sa Vancouver Migrant Workers Office since we are from Alberta, so the verification will be done in Canada. So OEC issuance will be in the Philippines. So magkaiba yun. Okay? So may i-issue dito na document verification once okay na yung documents nyo, si Vancouver, and then you will present it to the Department of Migrant Workers sa Philippines na para ma-issuean kayo ng OEC. Okay? So somehow this is a two-stage process. Merong contract or document verification, and then pagka-send nyo naman yan sa Department of Migrant Workers, ay bibigyan kayo ng OEC. And yun na yung ipapresent nyo kapag pa-fly na kayo to Canada. So ngayon, magkano ba yung cost? Tinanong ko kasi, total na ba yan? Mamaya may hidden fees, di ba? Magulat tayo pag pumunta tayo ng Pinas or i-claim na yung OEC. Sabi, the total cost lang talaga ay 11.5 Canadian dollars for contract verification, which is kung ginawa nyo to sa Vancouver Migrant Workers Office, yan, dyan kayo magbabayad ng 11.50. And then, the OEC naman, if i-issue na yan sa Philippines, it is free. Okay? There's no additional fee for that. Alam ko, sa old requirements, makikita nyo, there's a $3 fee. But now, as they've mentioned here, sa email nila to, okay, the OEC is free. And yan, yung number 4 naman, pinakita ko na sa inyo, yung updated checklist, which is yun na lang ang pagfokusan nyo na i-comply, para makakuha na kayo ng document verification. As I've mentioned, guys, I've been communicating or emailing the Migrant Workers Office here in Vancouver kasi covered ng Vancouver yung Alberta, okay? So sabi, yung office ng Vancouver, it facilitates the verification of the employment contracts and OEC online applications of OFWs whose work sites are located in the Canadian provinces and territories of British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Yukon, and the Northwest Territories. So these are the provinces in the West. So kung nasa East ka, ang alam ko is in Toronto. So you will have your document verification in the office of Toronto. Okay? So kinuha ko na yung details ng Vancouver and Toronto offices. So you can go there or call them or email them. Very responsive yung Vancouver office based on my experience. So first email ko Friday, nag-reply sila ng Saturday kahit walang pasok yung supposedly. And then second email ko, today is Monday, nag-reply din sila within few hours. So if you have any questions na hindi ko nasagot in this vlog or medyo naguluhan pa kayo when I explained it, please feel free to email this one, mwo_vancouver@dmw.gov.ph. So very responsive sila, kahit naka-enumerate yung questions ko, naka-enumerate din yung answers nila, which I really appreciate it kasi nga masishare ko sa inyo yung mga answers na provide nila sa akin. So yun lang guys, no, I hope nakatulong itong video na ito, lalo na sa mga maraming tanong regarding OEC. So if you still have any more questions, you can comment your question down below or you can freely email the Vancouver office or Toronto office regarding other aspects in the OEC issuance. Okay? So yeah, hanggang dito na lang. I'll see you on the next one. Peace!